Southern California's severe weather conditions are fueling multiple wildfires and threatening at least 13,000 structures. And so, what I've done is brought in my good friends, meteorologists Keith Cavey and Chris Hyde, who can talk about just how powerful weather insights can help empower agencies and businesses to act decisively. And I want to start with Keith and MetX. This is our visualization tool. Keith, how can MetX and our weather API help better provide better insights into addressing some of these challenges, do you think?
Yeah, MetX really allows us to see the weather conditions that are fueling these violent wildfires in Southern California. Here's an example where I'm showing you the relative humidity in the top left, along with the wind speed and the wind gusts. And you can see MetX predicting these wind gusts that we saw 50 and 60 miles per hour and even higher in these regions. Those are two of the factors that are used in calculating the Fosberg Fire Weather Index. That's on the lower left-hand side. So this really allows you to see those hot spots, particularly in those foothills and mountainous regions of Southern California, where we indeed are seeing these wildfires rage. Another thing we can do with MetX is track the trends over time with things like winds and that fire weather index. So you can see here for these wildfire areas over a 24-hour period, the good news is that the wind speed and wind gusts are expected to decrease somewhat, which should help out those firefighters a lot. The unfortunate news for the region is that looking ahead over the next week, you can see in the top right, our forecast for the Santa Ana winds call for a brief lull in that activity later in the week, but then they ramp back up early next week, and the fire weather index gets higher as a result. The other piece of bad news, that precipitation probability graph in the lower left, there is no chance for rain for the region in the next 7 days.
Chris, what does this mean for industry and businesses?
Yeah, industries like government, energy, logistics use weather insights to reduce operational costs. You look at energy in particular, the power outages that have occurred with association with the strong winds as well as the fire itself, dispatching crews, but also understanding that there could be a safety risk. You don't want to put crews out there in harm's way. And certainly emergency management, the same type of situation. It's hard to dispatch crews when the event is still going on, but using MetX, you have the tools to kind of have an accurate depiction of when things will die down or the winds could potentially shift in more of a positive way.
The urgency is obviously apparent, and accurate weather intelligence, of course, changes everything. And reach out to Chris, Keith, and our team of experts to make sure that you are getting everything you need to be successful during events like this. And please, for all of our friends out there in California, be safe.